Imagine you're standing in a remote desert, far from cities, far from noise. Above you, the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a river of diamonds. You can see thousands of stars, the faint glow of distant galaxies, even the ghostly light of the Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million light-years away. Now, fast forward to a city street. You look up and see maybe a handful of faint dots blurred by the orange haze of street lamps and neon signs. The rest? Hidden, not because they're gone, but because we've drowned them in our own artificial light. What is light pollution? Light pollution is the excessive or misdirected use of artificial light that brightens the night sky, making it impossible to see stars and planets clearly. Scientists classify it into four main types. Sky glow, that dome of light above cities, visible from kilometers away. Example: the yellow halo you see over New York or Mumbai, even from distant suburbs. Glare, harsh light that causes visual discomfort. Example: an unshielded LED street lamp shining directly into your eyes. Light trespass, light spilling into areas where it's neither needed nor wanted. Example: a billboard lighting up your bedroom window all night. Clutter, overcrowded bright lights, especially along highways and city centers. Example: Las Vegas Strip, spectacular, but astronomically devastating. Why it matters more than you think. This isn't just about losing a pretty view. Astronomy crisis. The International Dark Sky Association warns that light pollution has made 80% of Americans unable to see the Milky Way. In Europe, it's 60%. Wildlife impact. Sea turtles can't find the ocean after hatching because beachfront lights disorient them. Migratory birds collide with lit buildings in record numbers. Human health. Overexposure to artificial light disrupts our circadian rhythm, increasing risks of sleep disorders, depression, and even certain cancers, according to the American Medical Association. Generational loss. As one astrophysicist put it, we are the first generation to grow up without a view of the galaxy, and we may be the last who can still restore it. Historical perspective. Before electricity, night skies were a universal human experience. In 1889, Vincent van Gogh painted Starry Night in a world where the Milky Way was visible from every European village. Ancient navigators like the Polynesians crossed the Pacific guided only by the stars, a skill that would be impossible in most modern harbors. Today, a child born in Tokyo, London, or Los Angeles might never see the Milky Way without traveling hundreds of miles. Current events and policy moves. France recently passed laws limiting shopfront and street lighting after midnight in certain towns. Chile's Atacama Desert, home to some of the world's largest telescopes, enforces strict lighting regulations to protect astronomical research. In the U.S., cities like Tucson, Arizona, are converting to fully shielded, low-temperature LED streetlights to reduce glare and sky glow. Your action step. If you live in a city, and most of us do, your first step is awareness. Install motion sensor outdoor lighting. Use warm, downward-facing bulbs. Support community dark sky initiatives. The night sky isn't just a backdrop. It's our shared cosmic heritage, and we are running out of time to protect it. When you flip on a light switch, you don't think about physics. But light is energy. And like all energy, it doesn't simply vanish when it's done serving you. It spills, it scatters, it lingers, and in the wrong places, it becomes pollution. The physics of light pollution. To understand light pollution, you need to know two key things. Rayleigh scattering. This is the same effect that makes our sky blue during the day. When artificial light hits particles and molecules in the atmosphere, it scatters in all directions, creating a hazy glow that drowns out faint celestial objects. Wavelength sensitivity, blue-rich light, like most modern LED streetlights, scatters far more than red or amber light. That's why astronomers push for warmer lighting. It reduces sky low. Example: in 2017, Tucson, Arizona replaced thousands of high-Kelvin, blue-heavy LEDs with warmer, shielded lights. Sky low dropped by 7%, saving millions in energy and giving astronomers clearer skies. Why cities are the worst offenders? Urban areas concentrate three key factors: highlight density, billboards, stadium floodlights, street lamps, and vehicle headlights. Reflective surfaces, concrete, glass, and metal bounce light back upward, doubling its impact. 24/7 economy. Cities rarely sleep, keeping unnecessary lights on through the night. Fact: NASA satellite imagery shows that light pollution grows at about 2% per year globally, with developing countries seeing the fastest increases. The biological angle. We humans have intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells in our eyes, sensors tuned to blue light that control our circadian rhythm. When they detect light at night, they suppress melatonin, the hormone that tells our bodies it's time to rest. This isn't just about you missing a few hours of sleep. Long-term melatonin suppression is linked to increased risk of obesity, diabetes, depression, and even breast cancer, as per WHO studies. For wildlife, it can be deadly. Birds misread city lights as the moon and migrate off course. Fireflies lose their ability to signal mates. Case study: New York City's Lights Out program. In NYC, every spring and fall, high-rise buildings dim or switch off exterior lights during bird migration periods. This simple action has cut avian collisions by over 80% in some buildings. It's proof that policy plus awareness can make a measurable difference. Thought experiment for you. If every city in the world turned off unnecessary outdoor lighting for just one night a year, what would happen? Astronomers could recalibrate instruments without interference. Migratory species would get a free pass on a critical night, and billions of people could see, perhaps for the first time, the full arc of the Milky Way. Before cities, before electricity, before even written language, the night sky was humanity's oldest screen. A screen we didn't just watch, we live by. The sky is our first compass. For ancient Polynesian navigators, stars were not just pretty points of light. They were waypoints on the greatest ocean map ever drawn. These sailors memorized hundreds of stars, their rising and setting points, to cross thousands of kilometers of open water without instruments. If you'd stood with them on a canoe, under a canopy of billions of stars, you'd see the night as a living atlas, oceans, winds, and seasons all hidden in those patterns. The sky is a storyteller. Look at ancient cultures. The Greeks saw Orion the hunter, sword drawn, locked forever in combat. The Egyptians aligned the pyramids with Orion's belt and Sirius to mark the flooding of the Nile. The Navajo mapped seasonal changes to the movement of the Pleiades. The sky didn't just inspire stories, it was the story. Myths, agriculture, navigation, all tied to the stars. From awe to absence. Fast forward to today. Over 80% of world's population lives under light-polluted skies. If you live in a major city, New York, London, Tokyo, you might see fewer than 20 stars on a clear night. For context, the human eye can see up to 6,000 stars in pristine darkness. It's like having a priceless ancient manuscript, but only being allowed to read 2 pages. The moment of loss. In 1994, Los Angeles experienced a major blackout after the Northridge earthquake. People flooded emergency hotlines, reporting a strange silvery cloud in the sky. It wasn't UFOs. It was Milky Way, something so hidden by city glow that thousands of residents had never seen it before. Why this matters? When we lose the night sky, we lose a shared human heritage. No more children lying on rooftops imagining stories in constellations. No more guiding a ship by the North Star. No more reminder that we are part of something vast, ancient, and mysterious. Most people think light pollution is just about not seeing stars. But that's like saying climate change is only about warmer weather. The reality? The disappearance of the night sky is silently rewiring our biology, reshaping ecosystems, and costing billions. 1. The biological toll. Our bodies have evolved for millions of years to run on a precise circadian rhythm, the 24-hour light-dark cycle. When artificial light floods the night, it confuses our melatonin production, a hormone critical for sleep, immune health, and even cancer prevention. Example: the American Medical Association has linked excessive nighttime light exposure to higher risks of obesity, depression, and certain cancers. In 2016, the Harvard Health Letter warned, "Light at night is more powerful than we think." It's not just a sleep issue, it's a systemic health issue. 2. The ecological impact. Light pollution doesn't just affect humans, it disorients entire ecosystems. Sea turtles hatch at night and navigate to the ocean by following the moonlight's reflection. City lights pull them inland to their deaths. Migratory birds crash into skyscrapers lit at night, mistaking windows for open sky. Fireflies, whose mating depends on bioluminescent signals, vanish when their light codes are drowned in glare. A 2017 Science Advances study found that artificial light is increasing by 2% every year worldwide, accelerating biodiversity loss. 3. The economic cost. It's not just nature that pays, we do too. Every year, the U.S. alone wastes $3.3 billion in energy on unnecessary outdoor lighting, producing over 21 million tons of CO2. Multiply that globally, and light pollution becomes both a climate problem and a financial one. 4. The cultural erosion. Perhaps the most invisible cost is the erosion of our shared human connection to the cosmos. The sky inspired Einstein to rethink gravity, Van Gogh to paint Starry Night, the Apollo astronauts to describe Earth as a blue marble floating in the dark. When that night sky is gone, what new ideas, what art, what dreams will never be born? We are the first generation in history to live without a true night. And if we don't act, we may be the last to even remember it. The night sky we've inherited is not the same one our ancestors knew. The story of light pollution isn't just about technology, it's about how our relationship with darkness changed. 1. The first flickers. Before electricity, the only artificial lights were fire-based, torches, oil lamps, candles. Their glow was faint, warm, and localized. Ancient cities like Babylon or Athens could see the Milky Way stretching overhead without obstruction. Example: historians estimate that even in bustling ancient Rome, the sky at night was so pristine that the Andromeda Galaxy was a familiar sight to the naked eye. 2. The electric revolution. The real shift came in 1879 when Thomas Edison's incandescent bulb met mass industrialization. By the early 1900s, streetlights spread across cities like veins of gold. What started as safety and convenience quickly became aesthetic and status-driven. Cities competed for brightness. Las Vegas, from the mid-20th century onward, became the world's neon showcase. 3. The sky turns pale. Satellite imagery from NASA shows a stark change. In 1950, Only the largest cities had significant sky glow. By the 1990s, vast regions in Europe, North America, and Asia were bathed in a permanent artificial twilight. 4. The LED explosion. Ironically, what we thought would help, LED lighting, accelerated the problem. Cheap, long-lasting, and energy-efficient, LEDs spread rapidly in the 2010s. But their intense blue-rich spectrum scatters more in the atmosphere, making sky glow worse. 2017 study, Science Advances the World's Artificially Lit Outdoor Area grew by 2.2% per year between 2012 and 2016, and brightness increased even faster. 5. The cultural blindness. As each generation grows up under brighter skies, they normalize it. Kids born in cities today may never have seen the Milky Way. In Japan, researchers found that 80% of teens in Tokyo have never seen more than a handful of stars. This wasn't one big decision. It was thousands of small ones. More lights for safety. More lights for beauty. More lights because, why not? The result? We've lit our way into a future where the night no longer exists. When we talk about darkness, most people think of it as simply the absence of light. But to our biology, psychology, and even our planet's ecosystems, darkness is an active, living condition, one that evolved alongside us. Remove it, and everything changes. 1. Darkness in the human body. Your body runs on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour internal clock that is deeply tied to light and dark cycles. When night falls, your brain's pineal gland releases melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to rest, repair, and rejuvenate. Harvard Medical School study, 2011 exposure to artificial light at night suppresses melatonin production by up to 80%, disrupting sleep and increasing risks of obesity, depression, diabetes, and certain cancers. 2. Darkness as a mental anchor. Psychologists have found that darkness also gives our minds something rare in today's world: mental stillness. Without constant light stimulation, our brain shifts from task mode into deep processing, the state where creativity, problem-solving, and emotional regulation thrive. Quote, "The night is the balm for a restless mind." Carl Jung. 3. Ecological importance. It's not just about us. Over 60% of vertebrates and over 30% of invertebrates are nocturnal. From sea turtles to fireflies, these species depend on darkness for survival. Example: in Florida, hatchling turtles navigate by the moon's reflection on the water. Bright beachfront lighting confuses them, sending thousands crawling toward parking lots instead of the sea. 4. Darkness in human culture. Every ancient civilization treated the night sky as a classroom. Navigators in Polynesia crossed thousands of miles of ocean, guided only by the stars. Farmers in Mesopotamia timed planting by the constellations. Today, in many cities, that cultural heritage is gone. The Milky Way invisible to over 80% of the world's population. 5. The science of healing in the dark. Hospitals are now experimenting with dark therapy, restoring natural light-dark cycles to improve patient recovery rates. In some neonatal wards, controlled darkness has been shown to help premature babies develop healthier sleep cycles and weight gain patterns. The night isn't empty. It's medicine. It's memory. It's the quiet half of life's rhythm. When we flood it with artificial light, we're not just losing the stars. We're dismantling the biology of every living thing. Imagine a planet where the stars are erased, where the moon's glow is drowned by a perpetual halo of man-made light, where there is no true night. This is not science fiction. It's the trajectory we are on right now. 1. Ecological collapse. When darkness disappears, entire food chains unravel. Predators like owls lose their hunting advantage. Prey like rodents lose their cover, altering population balances. Migratory birds crash into illuminated skyscrapers. Over 1 billion birds die this way every year in North America alone. Insects, which navigate by celestial cues, spiral endlessly around artificial lights until they die from exhaustion, triggering cascading effects on pollination. Reference: a 2020 study in Nature found that light pollution is now a bigger threat to insect populations than pesticide use in some regions. 2. Human health crisis. Perpetual light doesn't just make us tired, it rewires our biology. Higher rates of cardiovascular disease, depression, and certain cancers are linked to disrupted circadian rhythms. Artificial night lighting is now classified by the American Medical Association as an environmental hazard. Mental health suffers. Higher urban light pollution correlates with increased rates of anxiety and sleep disorders. 3. Cultural and spiritual loss. When you take away the night sky, you erase the oldest shared human experience. For millennia, humans oriented their myths, calendars, and navigation by the stars. Entire languages have words that only exist because of constellations. Without the night, future generations may grow up never having seen the Milky Way, an unbroken cultural lineage severed in a single century. 4. Cosmic disconnection. Carl Sagan once said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." If we lose the night, we cut off the very channel that connects us to the universe's scale and mystery. We stop looking up. We stop asking the biggest questions. 5. The domino effect. Light pollution isn't isolated. It feeds into climate change, energy waste, and habitat destruction. Every watt of unnecessary lighting is more carbon in the atmosphere. More carbon means faster warming. Faster warming means more ecosystems under stress. The loss of night is not just an environmental issue. It is a planetary emergency. If we act now, shielding lights, restoring dark sky reserves, changing urban policies, we can reverse it. But if we wait, the last natural night could vanish within our children's lifetimes. The night is not a luxury. It is a fundamental right of life on Earth. Protect it, and you protect every heartbeat, every wing beat, every spark of life that depends on it. Before you click away, look up at the night sky tonight, if you can still see it, and remember this. Every action you take, every conversation you start, can help save the last true darkness our planet has. If this journey opened your eyes, don't let it end here. Watch our full Dark Skies and Cosmic Wonders playlist. It's packed with stories that will change the way you see the universe. Subscribe, share this video with someone who's never thought about the night sky before, and together we can turn awareness into action. Your next step? Click here to binge the full series, or catch the last video where we uncovered the terrifying truth about light pollution's hidden killers. Because the fight for the night starts now.